Hi, Art Seekers. We're here in the GABA Art District with Em Wafer. I am a super big fan of yours in front of one of your works. Thank you so much for chatting.
You're welcome, thank you.
So, how did you come to find street art?
This was actually my first wall. I was over here for a few days, like on the way back from another trip, and I happened to paint this and I kind of, fell in love with spray paint and street art.
Now, noticing your accent, you are from New Zealand, and I'm just wondering, how does New Zealand feature in your art? I see that there's a lot of flora and fauna. Do you think that that is taken from your roots as a New Zealander?
Yeah, lots of them are, like the panga trees and these, I guess these ones are more LA, these are just kind of fantasy trees, but lots of my canvases have New Zealand, like native New Zealand plants on them, which I enjoy painting.
And when you're back home, what kind of work do? You do a lot of canvas, don't you?
Mainly like acrylic on canvas. I've started using spray paint underneath the acrylic on the canvas, which is a lot of fun. I'm inspired by a lot of things. My little boy inspires me. He's got autism, and he's just got the most unique way of seeing the world. He can stare at a tree for a long time and just kind of go like this, looking at the leaves, and you kind of wonder if he sees it a different way than us, or if he's just more excited by what he sees. I don't know, and that inspired a lot of my kind of bright, a little bit more kind of abstract trees. I like to keep my art quite playful. I sometimes bring kind of elements of realism into it, but I find, back before I started doing, really doing art, I would try and be very perfectionistic with my work, and that kind of ruined it for me, because I'd be like, it doesn't look like the photo, so it's terrible. And when I started doing this kind of art, I was like, I can just do whatever I want, and it kind of taking away that perfectionist tendency, while also still trying to make it look good but not having all that pressure on. I've definitely been more childlike in my approach to it, which is definitely inspired by James.
I also noticed that you have a lot of bubbles in your work, and that space seems to be a common motif. What do those two things come from, and what do they mean to you?
Bubbles. I did a lot of bubbles because I watched a lot of bubbles, because James was really into bubbles for a while. I'm doing Sunrise program, which is a home-based program for autistic kids with him, and so we spend a lot of time in the playroom together, and for a while he just wanted me to blow bubbles, bubba, 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 and so I'd be blowing them, looking at the way the light shone on them, and I think they're really beautiful, so they came out in my work a lot. Space, to be honest, I actually don't know. I just kind of, half the time, I don't know what a painting is going to be until about halfway through. Like I'll start off not knowing, and then I'll get an idea, and halfway through I kind of know where it's going, but I don't 100% know until the end. What I like about that too is how different people can see different things in a piece and love it for different reasons. One lady really wanted a certain piece, and it was like a silhouette down the bottom of a house and trees and just kind of a garden, and then up the top were clouds and little baby silhouettes. There were 3 of them in the clouds, and when I painted it, I was kind of thinking the idea that the child chooses the parent and everything's kind of meant to be, and I kind of fantasy, but it was open to interpretation. And she just said to me, she said, I have to have that piece, and I really love it. And I asked what she loved about it, and she said that she had lost 3 babies. She'd had 3 miscarriages. She had 3 children, but she'd lost 3 babies, and she just thought she felt like that was them looking down from the sky at her. And I was like, wow, I had no idea, but that's perfect. That painting is for you.
I think it's really special and beautiful that you shared that about your son, because it's true that part of your world seem tethered to reality, but then there's also another part that just seems like it's a world of fantasies. And to look at life through the eyes of somebody who sees life differently, someone who has autism, I think it hasn't really been done, and it's special and it's important.
Yeah, no, it's really, really good, and I I think it's a shame that we don't always, but like we lose part of that as adults, kind of that aspect, that feeling that anything's possible and life is really good and every day is a new day. And I mean, I know that not all childhoods are like that, but there's definitely more as a whole. I think children have more hope and excitement, and if we can kind of harness that, then I think we'd all be a lot happier.
Now, is there an overarching takeaway message that you hope that people will have when they see your work, both street and canvas?
If someone loves it, that's the best reward that you can have for your art, is that it brings joy to other people and just makes them feel good in a small way or improves their day a little bit. That's awesome.